So it's finally arrived, my Chinese no-name head unit for the car. So what do you get in the kit? Let me show you now. So here's the head unit that comes with the kit, and as you can see, it looks pretty okay. Essentially has a number of outputs, and you get a number of cables with it. So you've got a camera, a reversing camera. I'm not going to fit that to the car, it looks a bit tacky. And you get an assortment of other cables with it. This is the microphone for the headset. No, sorry, the microphone for the hands-free. It's got CarPlay on it. Then you get standard wiring room, but doesn't come with any ISO connections. You also get a frame for the main radio. I have no idea what that is. And a remote control. Comes in this box here, which has absolutely no name on it whatsoever. Yeah, see better. Just says car audio navigation system. That's it. So there is some instructions that came with it, but I'll put them down somewhere and I don't know where. So I'm gonna find those. They're going to have a quick read for it just to see if there's anything in there that will help, and then they're going to stick it into the car. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to strip out the current one that's in there and take the ISO kit on there and then adapt it to this wiring here, see if we can make sense. Then I'm going to do a test fit to see if we can get it to work, and if that works, then we're going to fit it finally flush. Now the only issue is that with the kit that I installed, the double DIN set that I installed in the car last week has a maximum depth of 160 without fouling the heating system. I think this is 165 or 16.5 centimeters. I'm going to measure it to confirm, but might be a problem. I might have to do some alteration to get this to fit flush, so bear with. I'm gonna get a tape measure. Okay, so the first thing that I need to do is take the old head unit out of the car, and then we can start fitting the new unit here into the car. So let's go and do that, and for that I need my trusty torque screwdrivers to do that. So let's go. Right, so like we did last week, use my trusty T30 torque screwdriver, and we're going to take off these two panels on these that will hold my central panel in place, and then we'll take the whole unit up, take it back up to my office, then we'll start taking things apart. What I've done, and this is only temporarily, I've got these terminal blocks which I'm going to use to soft fit it into the car, just to make sure everything works before we do a permanent fix. So I think what I'll do is I'll connect up those ISO connection to the new radio, and then once we confirm that it's working, we'll then fit it into the cage. Now, the one thing was that the no name radio, that's what we're going to refer to it now because it literally has no name or no brand, it didn't come with a cage. So the one that came with a Panasonic, sorry, my Pioneer, gonna test to see if that fits in there. If that does, all well and good. If not, I'm gonna have to get a universal one, which is just a rectangle box to do the job. So hopefully that will work. But in the meantime, let's get this unit out and then we can get it inside and start fitting it together. One thing, safety first. I'm gonna disconnect the fuse, because the last time I did this I popped the fuse because I shorted out alive. So let's prevent that from happening again. Let me take the fuse out of the fuse box. Right, we're done. Now I'm just going to take this back up to my desk. Okay, so good news, the cage actually fits. So this is the cage from the old Pioneer. So that's one job done. Next we got to do is get this to connect up to that. There you go. So that's my next job. Hopefully we'll get that mocked up using these terminal blocks, and then that should be ready to fit in the car. I have a few hours. Alright, let's get on with it then. Okay, so we've got the wires all linked up. These are all the speaker ones, so they're pretty straightforward, and then there's two more for the speaker. And these ones here are the power. So the yellow one, I know it's going to the red, but trust me, that will work. So that is going to be, I think, the ignition feed. So this comes on when ignition comes on, and the red one here, this is going to the power. So no, sorry, this is going to the fuse. This one here goes to the fuse. So this one comes on with ignition, and this one comes on, this gives it a permanent feed so that the radio memory is live, and then this one turns on the radio when the ignition is turned on. So I'm hoping that is correct. I have some additional ones here that are not connected anywhere. That's the antenna. I don't know what these ones are, so if anyone knows, feel free to add a comment. Oh, that's the illumination, I know that one. Brake light. Then I've got this one here, it says key plus, and there's another key here, this one here. So not quite sure what those two key ones are. So I'm going to plug this in now into the car, and let's see what happens. Either two things will happen: A, it will work, hooray, or B, it won't work, and I'll be looking rather sad. So let's go and see, and figure out if this works. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a soft fit for now, so just plug it all up and see if it works, and see if we get power. Okay, and then if that works, then probably tomorrow we'll do a hard fit, because it's getting late now and I'm running out of patience. Okay, let's see how we go. Right, back in the car. So I've connected everything back up. So this is now in place. We're going to do a boot up. So let's just turn the ignition on. So far we have nothing. Let's turn the power on. Hopefully you can see that. Nothing. Oh, yeah. There we go. Brilliant. So here we are. And this is a touch screen as well. So we can obviously, no DVD. I can go to radio, but I haven't got the radio plugged in yet, which is good. It's got sat nav in there as well, but it uses Apple CarPlay. So there is a USB cable, and what I've got now is I've got my iPhone. So I'm going to connect my iPhone up to this. iPhone's connected, so it's charging, good. And so far we've got a Apple logo, which is great. Brilliant. Okay, so that seems to be working. So if I go back here, hey, that's not bad. I'm pretty impressed with that. listen later. So this is BBC's iPlayer. Let's go back to music. Let's go into my sound list. Let's go back. Ooh, scroll. Yeah, scroll's good. Not a fan of the beeping, but hey, I'm not complaining. Let's go to playlist. What have we got in the playlist now? I've got some old school. Let's go some chill out music. And how do you like that? I'm happy with that. So that works really well. And let's have a look at sat nav. So this is using iMaps, and look at that, brilliant. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it is showing me where I am, which is great. Destination, let's go 3D. Hey, and then I can put my listen. That's brilliant. I like that. So that's £100. That's what that costs. I'm well impressed with that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fit this now into, you can see me now, I'm going to fit this into the console, and then we'll fit it in the car properly. Brilliant. Right, so let's go and do that right now. Okay, so here's a radio all fitted back in a central console, and if you notice, we've also got the trim around it as well, so it's nice and neat. It looks very OEM. So that's fitting pretty well, and as you can see, what I've done is fitting in the Pioneer cage. The only issue with this is it doesn't have a clip to hold it in place, so that's about it really. But other than that, it fits really well with the standard Pioneer cage. Now, if you recall earlier, I mentioned about the fact that with the console in, the maximum depth that you get is 160 millimeters. That's measuring from the front. Any more than that, and then it's going to cause a problem with fouling. So from the front, as you can see, if you look down, if you come up, you'll see that that is actually bang on. Got a little bit for the heatsink behind, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. So 160, here we go, 160, yeah, and that's from the front as well. So I don't know whether the measurement is from the front. If it's from inside, then that's even better, because that's coming in at if you can see that, 140. So that's perfect. Now the Pioneer that I had in there previously, let me get that. That had a depth, included the back there, you can see, of 180. So that's pretty big, and that's probably the reason why it didn't fit so well. In fact, it was the bottom bit that pushed out. And if you look at the measurement from the front to the back, you'll see that that is, well, it's definitely more than our 160, which is back there. So that's probably the reason why this didn't fit so well. So with that in mind, this should fit pretty much perfectly. So I'm going to go to the car and we're going to set it up and see how that goes. Okay, so we're back in the car. I have connected up the aerial. That's why it's so close in the headset now. I've also connected up the microphone and ran it through the A pillar here. Spared you seeing that because that's boring, let's face it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this up now and then make sure it works once we've done a final fit. I just did a soft test fit just to make sure that it's connected up. I can show you again just so that you can see. So let's turn ignition on and it should come to life. Here it comes. So I'm not sure if you can see that, but I've got my screen here and I can see it, so that's all live. So now it's working. So I'm going to connect up all these little the heater and then the little illumination bulbs underneath, and then we should be good to go. So let's do that, and then hopefully we'll do a final test and make sure it's all working before we finish this part of the project. Cool. So I'm going to turn the ignition off, and just to be safe I'm going to pull the fuse out as well so we don't short anything out. Okay. Okay, radio is now in. Let's test. And there we go. Radio is working. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plug my iPod in if I can. Just need to go and get an aerial. Sorry, not it. Just need to go and get my USB cable. Once I get that in, then I can plug it in and then test to see if my iPod works. So bet up. I'll tell you what we can test. Let's just check the radio to make sure the radio's working.
3P or Roggery, I can't pronounce it.
Yay! The radio works well.
My hands up in the air.
Sounds pretty good. Right, gonna get my iPod cable now. So that we can test the CarPlay feature to make sure that's working fine. So bear with me for a second. Okay, back with the cable. So let's plug that in. This is a standard iPhone cable, so nothing special about that. Yeah, is what it is. Let's turn the radio on. Okay, so it's now back on, and can't hear anything. Yeah, there you are. Radio works fine. Right, plug my iPhone in. What you should see come up is you should see CarPlay come up on the screen, and then CarPlay should come up here, or it should be at least loading like we saw last week. So plug them in. Let's charge him. We've got your little Apple logo, CarPlay. Yep, and there we go. So we are back. See the camera there, can't you? Right, okay, so yep, CarPlay back up and loaded. So let's just play some tracks. Nope, we don't want that. We want to go back there. Play this. Let's crank up some volume. Oh, just go 40. Let's go 20. Okay. Let's go to my A4 playlist. Some Dr. Dre.
Still Snoop Dogg and D.I. Guess who's back? Still.
Yep.
Still doing that.
Good. So that's Yeah.
This one is for my brother, Tyree, R.I.P. A message to God.
Yep. That's pretty good. So that works. So there you have it. So we have our CarPlay in the car, really cheap, and looks really great as well. So I'm going to put some pictures up into onto Instagram, just showing it in its entirety. But yeah, really impressed with that, and it looks really good in the car. So yeah, good job. I will also put the links, and I'll also show you the advert as well, that where I got this from. Now this works great, no guarantees it will work great for you. Like I said, comes with no instructions in terms of fitting it. You need to know a little bit about car audio, but yeah, other than that, it's a cheaper alternative to the ones that are on the market, which go from £300 upwards really, and you're getting exactly the same thing. Of course they come with warranty and guarantee, but hey, you take a risk in a lot of things in life. So anyway, next video will be next week, and next week we're going to be installing the bar going across the back here. So I'm going to be taking the back seats out, making this car look more like a 240 Sport. So take care, subscribe, see you on Instagram. My next video will be out on Monday, so from now on they're going to be out on Mondays because it's easier for me to do it that way. So every Monday. So this one's going to be out Sunday, hopefully, if we can get edited in time. But other than that, next week, Monday onwards. So take care.
always, always.